We've all been there, mindlessly scrolling through our social media feeds. Maybe you're looking for the latest memes, checking in on friends, or just passing time. But what happens when that scrolling starts to take a toll on your mental health? What if that endless stream of posts, likes, and notifications is actually contributing to something deeper: depression? Scrolling to depression, a deep dive into social media's mental health toll. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt drained, anxious, or down after a session of scrolling through social media, you're not alone. Studies are increasingly showing that social media isn't just something we use to pass the time. It can have a real impact on our mental health. Today we're diving into how social media affects our mental well-being and why it might be making some of us feel worse instead of better. Social media can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it connects us to friends and family, but on the other, it can lead to feelings of stress, anxiety, and even depression. The constant comparison, the fear of missing out, and the unrealistic portrayals of life can all contribute to a decline in mental health. It's important to recognize these impacts and take steps to mitigate them. Social media is a powerful tool, but it's also a double-edged sword. On one hand, it helps us stay connected, find new communities, and even build careers. But on the other hand, it's causing an alarming rise in mental health issues like anxiety, stress, and depression, especially among younger people. Research shows that people who spend more time on social media are more likely to report feeling lonely, inadequate, or anxious. But why is that? Let's break it down. One big factor is comparison. Social media makes it easy to compare our lives with the highlight reels of others. We scroll through pictures of vacations, perfect relationships, and flawless bodies, and it can feel like everyone else is living a better life. This kind of constant comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, lower self-esteem, and even depression, especially when we forget that what we see online isn't the whole picture. And then there's the endless scrolling. It's easy to get trapped in the cycle of checking your phone every few minutes, looking for validation, for likes, comments, or shares. But when that validation doesn't come, or we don't get the response we were hoping for, it can trigger feelings of disappointment, frustration, and even sadness. It's like we're training our brains to expect a dopamine hit every time we check our notifications. But eventually the hits get smaller and the crash gets bigger. But it's not just about comparison or validation. Social media can also contribute to stress in other ways. Constant exposure to negative news, cyberbullying, or online conflict can all impact our mental health. The emotional weight of scrolling through endless debates, divisive opinions, or disturbing news stories can leave us feeling helpless or overwhelmed. And the more time we spend online, the more likely we are to experience burnout or anxiety. So what can we do about it? How can we stop social media from taking such a heavy toll on our mental health? First, set boundaries. Try limiting your social media use, especially before bed or first thing in the morning. The less time you spend scrolling, the less likely you are to get caught in those negative mental loops. Next, curate your feed. Follow accounts that inspire you, make you feel good, and promote positivity. Don't be afraid to unfollow or mute accounts that make you feel bad about yourself. And finally, take breaks. It's okay to unplug for a while and focus on real-life connections and activities. Your mental health will thank you. In the end, social media doesn't have to be the enemy. When used mindfully, it can be a tool for good. But it's important to remember that what we see online is often a carefully curated version of reality. It's not all real, and it's definitely not a reflection of your worth. So the next time you're scrolling, take a moment to ask yourself, how is this making me feel? And remember, your well-being comes first. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you manage your relationship with social media. Let's continue the conversation and support each other. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.